WB Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate theories to get to know the hosts, along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacey and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our Uncommon Place.
All right, everybody, I'm JR, and we're back with a WrestleMania recap. We had a good showing for that show. I want to thank everybody that was a part of that. And I'm not going to introduce everybody else. I'll introduce Stacey because she's my co-host. Everybody else, introduce yourself in some manner.
Well, okay, who wants to go first? We do this every time.
You go.
You want me to go first again? Hey, guys.
Go ahead, Coda.
Coda Carter again from Chapmanville. Glad to be here once again. It was a fantastic weekend. Got a lot to say, so I hope you guys are ready. Hope you guys got your talkies. I hope you guys are ready because you already know this shit's going to be good.
Hello, my name's Kevin. I'm from Powelton, West Virginia. Was excited with WrestleMania both nights and also the Hall of Fame. Looking forward to speaking with everyone tonight and getting out our feelings about a lot of matches that we've seen could have went different ways, I'm sure.
Sorry, guys. JR's playing with his camera.
I had to turn off that blurry shit. Y'all know that we travel in a hotel, so either way. All right, so John?
Lynchburg, Virginia. Ready to recap this WrestleMania and Raw and SmackDown.
All right, and the next time we do one, everybody's got to get a middle part to their name. John freaking Niffen, Kevin Miraculous Penn, Lakota, Lakota, the Hitman Carter or something. You know, everybody have
Oh my.
But listen, the only name that's off limits is Ravishing Rick Rude.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
already got that'll be joining us later on. So we got Stacey. Stacey, give us some analytical stuff because you're the analytics of force.
I mean, I didn't completely go over the thing because I'll be honest, we need to work on those transcripts on Apple Music. So remember, everybody, these are our opinions. We are going to let you know what we think. If you don't agree with it, let us know.
Okay.
So go on.
So roundtable discussion here, everybody, and anyone that's listening, anybody watching the video, thank you for watching on YouTube, TikTok, wherever you catch these videos, or wherever they're posted. Hell, they're even on Spotify nowadays. That's a crazy thing that goes on with podcasting. And these guys right here, after they're done with this, at some point, I'm going to get these guys to get their own podcast going together so that I can be a guest on it here and there. Now, WrestleMania. Before I get to anyone, it was a 2-night event for anybody that didn't get to see it that isn't a wrestling fan. And if you are a wrestling fan, I don't even need to tell you it was a 2-day event. So here's the first opinion I want from everybody in our roundtable discussion. The first day and the second day, which one was the best day? Now let's go.
You know, that's kind of tough for me because both nights were kind of up and down for me. But if I had to give it to one night in particular, it would probably be night 2. Specifically for that Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way. I thought that was fantastic. A lot of you are going to hate my opinions when we get to that Cena match, but get y'all's tissues ready because I know y'all's going to be up in your feelings. But, I'd have to give it to night 2 just specifically because of, that Fatal 4-Way. It was fantastic. I think that was probably one of the best matches of the weekend outside of Tiffany and Charlotte, but I'm sure that's another discussion we'll get into. But yeah, I'd have to give it to night 2.
Evan?
I'm gonna say night 2 as well. Definitely the main event for me. And also, night 2, it does like a recap of the Hall of Fame as well. I thought that was always like the Hall of Fame, when they come out on night 2. So night 2 definitely for me.
John?
Yeah. I'm with Lakota on that one. That Fatal 4-Way almost kind of stole the whole show in general. I mean, other than the triple threat, the Rhea, Bianca, and Io match, that was great. I was kind of let down on the Randy Orton. It was cool. Hendry got to get this little bit of spotlight, but Randy buried that guy. He buried him, man. That match could have went another 5 or 10 minutes. They had to bury that man like that. But yeah, night 2 was better.
You, Stacey?
Overall, in general, yeah, night 2.
Damn, I'm the only one that liked night 1 better than night 2.
Why did you like night 1 better?
Hey, man, that triple threat match, it was what I didn't expect. I expected the turn. I expect for Seth Rollins to win the match. That's all. I mean, I said something different on the other show, but when Seth, the way that the chemistry went in that match, that was probably my 4th favorite match over the whole weekend. And I got 3 ahead of it. But the 4th match, because after seeing the second one, if we could have combined the mid card from the second one on the first day, I would have been happier having the Intercontinental title as my main event match, in all honesty, for day 1. Now, so I guess we got to start with the first match. What's the first one we're going to start with?
I don't know.
Let's go to day 1. Let's just do day 1 recap. Lakota, you start off first. Your day 1 recap. What you like and what you did not like about day 1.
Okay, so I'll start with my negatives first.
That's fine.
The heat that is there between Charlotte and Tiffany is strong. They beat the shit out of each other.
She broke Tiffany's too, bro.
I know. And the thing is, like, if you go back and listen to the press conference, Tiffany's like, no, it's fine. Yeah, you have to say no, it's fine. Because for a second, I feel like her push is haltered now. Like, I feel like just because of all that stuff that's going on, I'm telling y'all, she's gonna get Jade Cargill's gonna beat her at some point, and then Tiffany Stratton's gonna go after the US title. And that's where she will stay for the rest of her career. Because of this. Because Charlotte is nothing but a crybaby who doesn't like when people are better than her.
Is it a Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston situation?
Absolutely.
Damn, she'll be our 10-time United States champion then.
All right. So who else has an opinion on that match? Did you like it? Dislike it? It was.
But the Charlotte Flair match.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Of course, I really thought that Charlotte Flair really was showing the inexperience of Tiffany in the ring. I think that Tiffany winning it was the right direction because of, a lot of people not feeling Charlotte, always being on top and just coming back, from a layoff and going to win the title. It just didn't seem a right fit for the WWE right now currently. I kind of wish like a big return or something would have came out during that match to make it more interesting. But that's just my thoughts on it.
What about you, John?
Well, I mean, it wasn't the best match. I mean, you could tell Charlotte's got ring rust. And I kind of blame that on what she's going through in her personal life because, I mean, she's going through the divorce and all, so her mind ain't all right there. Because, I mean, you're watching that match, Charlotte wasn't there, bro. Charlotte wasn't there. Yes, I'm glad Tiffany won, but Charlotte wasn't there, man.
And I can agree with that. It was a real stiff match. If we could have paired it differently, Charlotte Flair should have been in that triple threat match
Mm-hmm.
because her losing to Rhea Ripley the WrestleMania beforehand, taking another loss like this, it shows that she is not Flair. She's not Hulk Hogan. She's actually a genuine wrestler trying to breathe life into new talent. So I give her that point. That's the only thing she gets out of this match. But overall, it's just like there's so many other great women wrestlers now that her antics and things that she does, they're just not like she's got the stiffest moonsault on earth. And I just couldn't get anything with that. I hate to say this, and y'all might bury me for this, but Naomi puts on a better show than Charlotte Flair.
You're not wrong.
Naomi in her match with Jade, if we can go on to that one, Jade, she actually made Jade look better because she's TNA Naomi. She's not the WWE Naomi that's shaking it, Funkasaurus type wrestler. And I did go back that far. But I will say I was very impressed with their wrestling match because, Naomi carried a lady that's the Lex Luger of women's wrestling with Jade Cargill. And, Lex Luger was a tough cookie, to deal with.
Yeah, you're definitely not wrong about Naomi. I guess we can talk about that next. I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only problem I have with that one was the finish. The way that the finish was set up. It was they did the best they could with it, but it was not clean at all. I try to keep it simple with Jade. Don't give her nothing too fancy because she can't wrestle to begin with. So for her to do like this pop her up, type of thing, it was sloppy. It looked like Jade was scared to drop her, but other than that, the match was fine. I don't think it hurt either one of them. But again, I don't think it was that memorable either. So,
Okay, what about you, Kevin?
Man, I don't like Naomi that much.
wow.
I don't like her that much. I know.
Whoa. Okay.
I mean, I love her little outfit. She comes to ring in, but I don't know. She's never got over for me.
Whoa.
I can agree.
She
with
just
that.
never got over for me. I don't know why. I don't know. It's just something about her. I don't know.
It's like she doesn't have to be for everybody.
No.
What about you, John?
No,
I know
I think
Lakota. I know you love her. I know.
No, I think that match. I think that match was just thrown in there as a filler because I mean, me and Jr. kind of we think the same about Jade. She's not a wrestler at all. She's just there. She's a physique. That's all she is.
She's
Naomi.
Omos.
Yeah, exactly.
She's an attraction.
Yeah, but this new version of Naomi. Well, not new to us, but she had that same persona over in AEW, which I enjoyed. So
TNA,
yeah. TNA, my bad. But yeah, I mean, it was all right. It was all right.
But you know what? Watching SmackDown, it looks like they're going back to the same feud again with Naomi and Jade. And they're going to run it again for Backlash.
I kind of felt that too.
Mm-hmm.
And the way
Yeah, they're definitely going to run it again for Backlash for sure.
But did y'all notice how her character's kind of got like this? She's a stronger heel because that crap she did in the back with Nia Jax kind of got me rolling. I was like, when she did the little head turn and everything, I was like, oh, they let her do a little bit with her character. Now, Stacey, let me ask you real quick. What did you think about that match from WrestleMania?
Listen, I'll throw my 2 cents in when I need to, but I'm just gonna skip this one.
Damn. What's the next match we need to cover?
Let's just jump into Jey Uso and Gunther.
Okay. All right. You guys know me. I'm a Jay guy. I have been a Jay guy since 2010. when he came in with his brother and Tamina. That's a hot take. If you don't believe me, yeah, they all three came in together. Look it up.
Oh,
Google.
Sure did.
Man, when I tell you the genuine 10-year-old in me came out and I was silently crying into my microphone because I had people in the Discord with me and I couldn't cry like a little bitch in front of the boys, but
Right.
I was having a moment. But
Oh, yeah.
there was another thing in that match. The finish to me was very, very rushed. It felt rushed. Because if you guys know your history, who was the last person to make Gunther tap out?
We don't know.
It was
Dragunov,
Ilya-
wasn't it?
Yep, it was Ilya Dragunov to take the NXT United Kingdom Championship off of him.
Oh, damn. So it's been that long?
Yes.
Yep.
The only two people in history to make Gunther tap out are Ilya and Jay. Now, to me, that's a big moment for Jay to have. Like that's a big asterisk to have on his career. The way that he tapped out as quick as he did, it felt so rushed. It felt like it didn't mean anything at the time. But I'm happy that Jay won. Just that finish is the only complaint I have.
But I'm gonna just put this one piece in there, and y'all take this for a grain of salt, or keep it as a good thought. How do you go from being a co-main event to the first match on the card? The politics behind that and how they're carrying this title is like that whole big gold belt situation back when Christian won it. And Mark Henry was a champion. Like it just felt like this belt was degraded to below United States championship status. Like Jey Uso, great for him to have the moment, but it felt like WWE said, man, we can't put too much stock behind this.
Well, I feel like that's been that way since Seth lost the title, right? The title has been a secondary United States or Intercontinental Championship, and that
let's not put it in the same realm of IC. It's a United States belt.
I mean, IC is kind of up there as well for me. There's some great champions, but the IC belt has had its dark days too. Let's be honest. So to me, it's felt like that since Rollins lost the title. And I'm saying, take it off of Jay immediately and put it back on Rollins. Don't do that right off the bat. But it's just been that way since he lost it. So I can't say that I was expecting anything different.
I don't see Jay keeping the belt by the next pay-per-view.
Wow.
Whoa.
And here's the reason why. A lot of leads have been saying that WWE has been pushing him a lot. This yeet thing, and him getting the championship. His dad has been concerned for him, and other members of his family as well, from what I've been reading, has been concerned for him not resting, once again, not eating right, and not spending time with his kid a lot, because the WWE has been pushing him a lot. So I think he's tired, to be honest with you, because there's been some pictures that I've seen online, and actually there's been some videos too of Rikishi. I don't know if you all heard her or not. Rikishi has been like calling, checking up on him, and been encouraging him to keep going, and letting him know this is part of the business. This is what he worked for. But I think he's tired already. I think he's tired because you got to think, before this yeet thing came into play, it was him and his brother. And before him and his brother, it was him and Roman Reigns.
And then he got the moniker of a main event. So he's been going hard for the last 5 years.
Going hard for years, man. I think he's tired. I'm telling you, I just think he's tired. I just don't see him going much longer. I just don't.
I can see that, but I will say this. It's professional wrestling. If you are not willing to sacrifice, then get out of the business. My one example is Seth Rollins last year at WrestleMania. His knee was like a bowl of Jello, but he still went out and did what he needed to do. And he's not going, oh my God, I got this main event push finally, and I'm so tired. And then get out, man. Like, this is what he worked for. And now that he's got it, he's going to act all tired. Like, no, this is what you work for. This is what you've built your whole career on. Be the main event Jey Uso that you say you are. Now, if you can't handle it, then let them know real quick. But then you'll just go right back to a tag team guy. And I don't want that for him.
I just think that's where it's going to go. I just think he's too tired. I think that a lot of the times too, when he's walking down them steps, when he's walking through the crowd, he's tired. Look on his face. He's tired, man.
Okay.
I just think that the next pay-per-view, I think he'll lose it. And I think he'll it's either his brother or somebody else is going to turn the heel on him, or going to injure him to write him off TV. Something's going to happen where he's going to be written off TV. I see that happening very soon.
What's your take, John?
Man, I was happy for him. I'm kind of, with Coda, the ending to it. I mean, why did Gunther even tap out to a sleeper hold? I mean, the matches that Gunther had won with that sleeper hold, he's put him out to sleep, and this dude's gonna tap within seconds. Come on. I'm cool with Jey Uso winning. Winning. He's busted his ass for 15 years. He deserved it. He deserves this championship. Do I think he's gonna hold it long? I give it 2-3 months. I do. I really don't want to touch on this yet, but if you looked, I got that vibe on Raw that if Jimmy hadn't to come out to that ring, Sammy was turning. Sammy's going to be his first opponent.
Mm-hmm.
I also think Jimmy's going to turn on him too at the same time. Because if you look down here, this is why. Go back to the Bloodline days. Who was closer with Sammy, Jimmy or Jay?
Jimmy.
Jimmy was one. Jimmy was the one who brought Sammy in. Jay hated him.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm telling you, when we get onto the Raw, Sammy looked. I had that vibe. I caught that vibe that Sammy was going to turn. Now, I think Sammy and Jimmy are going to be the ones to turn on him. But I think Sammy's going to be the one to take the belt from Jay when it's time. It's not going to be Seth. I think it's going to be Sammy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, it was definitely a decent match. I think the ending could have went a little different. I kind of think, kind of like Coda, it was rushed. But we don't control that, unfortunately.
True.
And you know what, John? I think they'll try to work this up. It's going to be for Backlash for sure. I don't know who he's going to face.
Well,
Sammy or his brother, but whoever it is, I guarantee you by next Monday it'll be known.
I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be that quick though, because we've only got 2 weeks. We've only got a week and a half until Backlash. I don't think they could pull that kind of stuff off. Honestly, you may not even see Jay defended at Backlash. I mean, how many times did they have pay-per-views where Roman didn't defend or Brock didn't defend, or I think he defends at the next pay-per-view after Backlash. To whom? That gives them a little more time with the whole, whether they want to, have Sammy turn on him or Jimmy turn on him. I just don't see it being Seth. I don't see it being Seth taking that title. He's got that. He's down there with Heyman. Let them do their thing for a little bit, But I do think Sammy's going to be the one to turn.
I don't think.
I see that. But
I'm sorry. I'm going to say this one time, and then we got to move on because we've been talking about Jey Uso for 5 minutes. You guys are forgetting about Money in the Bank coming up.
What month is that?
June.
Oh,
okay, it is June. Yeah,
he's gonna carry the belt to at least SummerSlam then.
Sami Zayn is going
That's
to
what I'm
win Money in
thinking.
the Bank,
And then that'll be a good feud. But here's the thing: when you have a transition champion like Jey Uso, and he is a transitional champion because that is a transitional world belt, it diminishes their character. Because think about this: Gunther was at one time our greatest Intercontinental champion, and look at him now. He's going into a feud with a TV personality.
Ah, come on now. Don't diss Pat. Don't tell me you don't love Pat. Have you seen his stuff in NXT?
The last time I seen him wrestle was against a little man.
Brother.
I like
brother.
Pat.
Brother,
I like
listen,
Pat.
listen to me, listen to me
Who did he
close.
take on? Britt
Pat can
Baker's jump
wrestle.
off? Britt Baker's jump off? Adam something? What was it?
Go
Adam
look
Cole.
up the War
Yeah.
Games match that Pat McAfee was a part of and tell me you don't have respect for Pat
Hey
McAfee.
man, I
after that.
respect him for the match he had with that miniature guy we're talking about, the TBS champion.
I like Pat McAfee.
I
I
love
do
Pat.
too.
I think he's funny.
I think Pat McAfee is a gem amongst gems. And the fact that you're sitting over there going, Gunther is having a feud with a TV personality. No, he's having a feud with Pat fucking McAfee. It's not just a TV personality. It's Pat fucking McAfee.
I'll let you all slide on that one.
Oh,
What's our
man.
next match, Stacy? What do we got?
New Day and the War Raiders.
All right, let me do this. That match, and everybody give your opinion if you want. I'm going to just be flat and honest. I didn't give a fuck about that match. Because here's the thing: you gave him a asterisk because they were looking at a title record. They were looking at a title record because they're trying to cement the New Day as the Midnight Express, as the Steiner Brothers, as whatever you want them to be. So give them that glory. Yes, Big E's gone. We needed a Big E return. When we didn't get a Big E return, I said, "Fuck this shit. I'm done."
Yep.
I'm with you. Like, I feel like we don't even have to talk about this because I love the War Raiders. I think they're fantastic. I think they brought new life into that Raw tag team division. But the New Day, I love them so much. And history-wise in WWE, they are the greatest tag team in WWE history. History-wise, I'm not saying they are, but history-wise, they are. I didn't care. I wanted to care, but I didn't. And that was the first time I didn't care about a New Day match, and it hurt my soul. So,
because we want Big E to return. We want Big E to come back, hit them both with double clotheslines, and his big titties bounce around, and then set them up put them both in his finishers at the same time and drop their asses. And then he take the tag team titles and be like, "Yo, bitches, I'm the greatest world champion out of all three of us." Ooh, Consequences Creed, you don't even win belts. We're not gonna call you Xavier anymore. You're Consequences Creed. Go back to TNA where you were halfway decent.
I don't think it's New Day without Big E.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
It's Kofi Kingston for
Yeah.
his tag team partner because he wins titles with CM Punk and anybody. So
And you know
Kofi
what?
Kingston is a tag team architect right there. Think about it.
Yeah, won it
Evan
with
Bourne.
Punk, won it with Evan Bourne.
Yeah, God rest his soul.
R-Truth. Like,
That's what I was getting ready to say. I wish our truth would have came out on New Day's match.
All right, give us another match, Stacy.
Jacob Fatu and LA Knight.
Ooh,
yeah, did I mean? Oh, I'm so happy. My boy, my dog, all gas, no brakes, is your new United States champion, ladies and gentlemen. And I will sing it to the rooftops.
It was a
Because,
match that made sense.
gosh, this dude is a 5-star player. He is going to be, give it 3 to 4 years, he's going to be the new head of the table and he's going to be a world champion. Regardless of what your dirt sheets say about his weight and how his family's upset with him.
He got to do something, man. They had him in a jersey on Friday night.
Listen, he got to lay off the Krispy Kreme, but I ain't going to complain too much until he can't do his moonsault no more. The second he can't do that moonsault no more is when I'm going to have some questions.
Hey, hold on. What was that boy's name that's in TNA right now that botched the little dive over the ropes and then got released by WWE? What was his name?
Hold on.
Be Ready or something? What was his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Y'all know who I'm talking about, the one that botched the little splash over the top rope?
Top dollar.
Top Dollar.
Francis.
If he does anything like Top Dollar, they're gonna release his ass the next day. If he
Hey,
ever what?
I have a question about that match. Actually, the match that we was just on talking about. I have a question about that match. The Fatu and because
LA Knight.
in LA Knight, because on Friday LA Knight faced
Bisexual under
Solo.
Solo.
Priest.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he fought. Yeah, Drew.
Drew
Drew bisexual
McIntyre,
Undertaker came out there and attacked.
but it was interference. So now they both was disqualified. Am I right? Because remember, LA
LA
Knight.
Knight won. LA Knight won.
No.
It says Jacob Von
No.
defeated LA Knight by pinfall.
No, we're talking about SmackDown.
SmackDown. Oh, okay.
I don't know who they didn't raise a hand in that match.
Damian
No.
Priest attacked Drew McIntyre, so therefore Drew
Drew
McIntyre
won.
is your winner by disqualification.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that
because-
what it says on the internet?
That's
Well,
what it
no.
says by the rule book.
Oh damn.
Yeah, but then on SmackDown when Damian was out there, LA Knight was in his face telling him, "You costed me my match.
Exactly.
You costed me my
Oh, yeah,
match."
that's what it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think there's nobody that won that's a number one contender.
But you know what they just did? They set that shit up to be like a 6-way match because they had
Yep.
everybody in that shit. But that was cool.
Yep.
I was saying that was perfect storytelling for that because you got all them guys right there that are athletes. But God, the way that they made Fatu look like an animal.
Mm-hmm.
That moonsault was so pretty. The first one he did. The first one was so pretty. I was like, damn.
And we're forgetting a big thing is before that whole segment started, what did he tell Solo?
I do it with you or without you.
Yep.
Without
He looked dead at his face on Friday and said, "Get in where you fit in, Oos."
Right, so they're gonna feud at some time over the belt. But I need Solo to stop spraying that shit in his head, man. He put that extra enhancement.
Ramen head of noodle fuck. Anyway, I'm
So
a Solo hater.
we're all in agreement that match right there was probably one of the solid. That's my number 3 match.
Yeah, it was solid.
Yeah.
That was my number 3 match because it did not hurt LA Knight, and I like the way that they did SmackDown. We'll talk about that later. What's our next one, Stacy?
El Grande Americano and Ray Fiend.
I went to the bathroom on that match.
The only thing I will say
He's funny as hell.
that I took away from this match is WWE bought AAA.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And they're gonna have his ass getting fucked up by what's old boy's name with the V? What is
El Hifo del Vikingo.
Yeah, that old boy, because I watch him in AEW and he walks on the ropes like the Undertaker. He does some crazy shit. They're gonna
If you guys think that Penta's the greatest luchador, you haven't watched Vikingo yet.
This is not the greatest luchador. The greatest luchador of all time is Ultimo Dragon. We're never going to talk. No one can.
Oh, that's kind of I don't know about that, man. That's another discussion.
Another
But
episode.
our generation thinks Penta is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Anyway, my generation does. I don't, but most of them do. They haven't watched Vikingo yet. This dude is insane.
Joe, he was the reason he fucked up Kenny Omega. Oh, are we supposed to say that on here? Can we say that?
No, that's for a different episode.
Oh, all right, never mind. Keep going.
Back to
I didn't know that. I've never seen him wrestle.
Vikingo?
Yeah, I've never seen him wrestle.
Bro, we'll send you some highlights in the group chat later. Like, let's not.
Yeah, I'd love to see it for sure.
Have you seen him, John?
No, I've never really followed the luchador stuff much.
Bro, when they were with AEW, the luchador scene over there was wild.
It was crazy.
And that's one thing. Let's just talk about that real quick. We know America won the buying of AAA. That was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're buying the WWE of Mexico, basically. I mean, CML is what it is, but AAA.
CMLL is the WCW of Mexico.
Right. AAA is the WWE, and in the pay per view, like there's a match with Cody Rhodes. If you get a chance to watch it, it was when he wasn't there, like in any company. Like, bro, watch Cody Rhodes over there. Now, let me get back to what we're talking about. Talking about Chad Gable. Chad Gable's about to get the push of his life.
It's not Chad Gable.
It's not Chad Gable.
El
I've said
Grande
this last
Americano.
week. El Grande Americano. I don't know where you guys keep getting this information from, but you need to check your sources.
The cruiserweight or light heavyweight title will be resurrected. Watch my word.
And Gable will be the one to get it.
Yep. Because he's 220 and under.
He deserves it after his break he's been taking.
Well, I just want him to have the IC belt. I just want him to not now because
He should have beat Gunther all those months ago.
You
Right.
damn right. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I don't want him to turn out like Kurt Angle and get on Percocets and go over to AEW and shave his head off and do crazy shit.
Hey guys, I'm going to bed. I'm tired.
All right, Kevin, we'll catch you for the next round. All right.
All right, see you all later. It's been good
Later.
talking to you all tonight.
Later, Kev.
All right.
All right,
Kev.
see you all later.
All
Bye.
right, Oos.
Bye.
Are you saying no, Kevin?
Oh.
Damn.
He's got to figure out the buttons. Give him
He's
it.
got to figure out the buttons.
All right. So,
So,
next match.
John, did you weigh in on that one?
No, he did.
I did this from the beginning.
Okay.
I don't even think I watched it.
Okay, gotcha.
It
Yeah,
was nothing.
was the shortest match of the night, so
Mhm.
I think they knew what they were doing there. So the big match: Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk with Paul Heyman.
If I
It
was,
was generational.
if I was, I ain't gonna say that. If I was Dave Metzer is gonna call this one of the matches of the year. And the reason he's gonna call it is because it does every aesthetic of wrestling, every part, storytelling, blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna just give it a Dave Metzer point that anybody that watched wrestling, I'm in the camera, shit.
While you're giving your monologue, I want you to look at yourself.
Oh, all right, I can see the camera's all blurry and shit. What I'm saying here is this was a Dave Metzer type match. This was a match that the IWC got around. They got a chub for. It was fine for what it was supposed to be. It's going to have a storyline that's going to take up until SummerSlam. It's not going to get finished in 2 or 3 pay-per-views. This is like
Nope.
a 4 pay-per-view.
You wrong, Oos. It's going to go all the way to next year.
So we might have tag team champions, you say, out of Roman Reigns and CM Punk probably?
I wouldn't want to go that far, but I'm telling y'all, I feel like this story, because if you listen to Paul Heyman on Monday, he said, we're going to push it to WrestleMania 42. And he's right. This is a story to put Breaker in that main roster spot. Like everybody is focused on Rollins being with Heyman. The big story of this storyline is Breaker.
Braun.
Breaker just got his ticket to that world championship within the next year.
And he's got that super spear.
That's, bro, oh my God.
Yeah.
This match was great. This
Have
match
you-
was fantastic.
That
Go
spear
ahead.
has become like the greatest meme ever.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are like,
Well,
go ahead.
I'm still kind of wondering, is Carlito, did they have his funeral yet? I think I asked that last time. Did they do his funeral yet or what?
No, he was in a cryogenic chamber and he's good now.
Okay, cool.
So, that's what I read online anyway. But yeah, it was fantastic. I thought it had everything in this match. I thought everybody played their part. Me, I'm a Punk guy. I was crying again, but more like not like softly. I was bawling my eyes out just seeing him walk down that ramp and realizing that this guy who I have followed since, Ring of Honor is finally getting his moment. And then the match was so good. I did not expect it to be that good. And then my favorite part of that match wasn't even the whole match. It was Paul Heyman's low blow to Roman Reigns, because not only does he hit him in the nuts, he hits him in the nuts and then twists the knife. Like he just hits him in the nuts and twists the knife. It was the perfect thing that could have ever happened because it put Paul Heyman on another pedestal that I didn't know we could put him on.
Okay, I can go with that. What about you, John? You think what does this match do for you?
No, the match was great. The only thing is like I think I said during the last cast, Rollins joining up with Heyman, we knew was going to happen. Seth gave it away on Smack. It was either SmackDown or Raw before WrestleMania. He let out that whole statement. It's a spoiler. So when he said that, everyone kind of knew, okay, he's joining Heyman. He's going to win the match. Although did I have this slight feeling that it was going to backfire on Rollins, maybe him joining Heyman, but it backfired. Either Punk or Reigns win. Yes. But it went that direction. But like I said, everybody kind of knew after SmackDown that Friday night, everyone knew that was what was going to be the outcome.
And can we kind of be in agreement that they don't even have to have a title inside this feud?
No.
And I'll watch this across the upper mid card. I don't even have to see this on TV very often. I could get it twice in a month and I'm fine because we know where it's going to go. It's going to go to ultimately Braun Breaker becoming a true WWE entity. Like, I know that with everything that's going on with him and the way they're building him up, heck, his dad just got a Twitter account a day ago. He is going to be the next big thing, not Goldberg, but he's going to be an actual wrestler. And that was a Goldberg jab. I'm fine
I
with
hate Bill Goldberg. That's another discussion for another day.
Well, be ready to see him soon.
he's got to come back soon. He's got
his retirement match against the
Well,
Doctor.
it's gonna be with Gunther. That's what it's gonna be.
I'll enjoy it as long as it's in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
And the reason behind this is because I'm gonna miss the pay-per-view because it's gonna be at like 3:00 on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I just want to finish this one off and start into the other one. And we're going to give a spoiler and just jump straight into the surprise match. I said if Seth wins this match, Becky Lynch will be back.
Okay, you did say that.
And guess who came back?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
So Lyra
Valkyrie.
Yeah, and Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Any surprises there from anybody?
No.
It really wasn't a surprise. I mean, everyone knew when her music hit, Liv's gonna live and Raquel are gonna lose those tag belts. Everyone knew that. I mean, Becky's not gonna come back and lose her opening match. There's no damn way.
But she's Hulk Hogan.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, she hasn't said no racial slurs yet, so I think we're good.
But here's my thing. She is Hulk Hogan because she calls her moves on WrestleMania and how her show goes.
I don't think. Here's the thing, man. I think a lot of people think that was Becky. I think the plan was always to have Becky, but here's my frustration, and I told you was going to have to give me a few minutes with this whole thing. Why the fuck did they keep using Bayley as a fucking filler? Why? Every time. Same with poor old Karrion Kross. That's another discussion for another day. Bayley is always a filler. Even when she had her title in 2024, she's never been the main person, and she is great. She's fantastic. I'm so sick of everybody being like, oh, yeah, oh, Becky. No, Becky probably had a part in it to be like, yeah, I'm coming back here and I'm doing this. But Triple H knows what he's doing. He knew that, oh, we're going to try to get Becky, but we don't know if Becky's going to come back because we don't know if we can give her the money she's asking for. So they put Bayley in that spot because they're like, well, Bayley's just poor, pitiful Bayley, and she's not going to tell us to fuck off because she never has, so why would she start now? Let's just put her there, and then if we can get Becky, we'll oh, my shoulder, and we'll just say she's out. It's pathetic. That's one thing I have against Triple H. You put these people on pedestals, and please do not do it with Aleister Black because he is historically a Triple H guy. You put these people on pedestals, and you try to make them feel important, like Bayley in 2024, but then you're like, oh, there's Io Sky. Well, Io Sky is more important than Bayley, even though Bayley had the freaking belt to begin with. I'm old school that way. I feel like the champion should be the main focus, and Bayley was never the main focus, and it's just going to continue to be that way. And Becky's going to be the next Intercontinental Champion because that's what Triple H thinks best for business.
You were saying that the other day.
Yeah.
Did it surprise anybody that they lost the titles the next night?
No, absolutely not.
I expected it.
I wasn't expecting it that quick. I kind of had a feeling that Becky was going to turn, but not the next night.
I did.
I had a
old JR. I said she's going to turn on her tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Becky wants to be a Grand Slam champion. She needs an IC belt. She's seen an IC belt. She said, I got to come back and get that.
Well, she also needs the United States too, so
she can get that one easily. They got to give that to Selena Vega for bringing back Aleister. So.
Hey, man, we're going to get this made out in a minute, but I'm so happy about how that turned out too. I have so much frustration with poor Bayley and Karrion Kross, and oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk about any of the other matches that night besides the main match?
I just want to say this. Shout out to Joe Hendry for coming out there.
You were so excited when you heard his music.
When his music hit, I had to mute the Discord and I sung his song and I changed his name to my name. And I did all kinds I was so happy to see him TNA champion. He is a gimmick wrestler. Did it give star power to TNA for that little bit of a squash match? Yes, it did.
Yeah.
People know who he is. His song went up on the charts in Apple and different things like that. So it's not like he did not get what he needed.
And you can see the reaction video on WV on Commonplace's TikTok, also on Sparrows Under Review's YouTube page.
So my problem here is this. The TNA title, what do we have equivalent to it? Why do we keep
Midnight Run.
Why do we keep calling that shit the NXT title? Like, why is the TNA Heavyweight Championship the NXT Heavyweight Championship?
I have no idea, but like you said, I don't know who. I think it might have been you, John, that said that match could have went longer. I thought it was perfect, and here's why. Everybody knows who Joe Henry is, and if you don't, you're living under a rock. You better believe, and if you don't believe, he's gonna make you believe. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was because Randy and Kevin were supposed to be the thing, and then Kevin actually got hurt or whatever, and so they had to scramble. So for what they had to do in that short period of time, I honestly would have more preferred Nick Aldis. But that's just the NWA guy in me. But I thought Joe Hendry coming out I screamed at the top of my lungs. I was muted, thank God. And I did exactly what JR did, although I didn't replace it with my name. That's a U signature right there, bub. But yeah, I was so happy to see him. And I thought he did exactly what it was supposed to do, because it wasn't supposed to, like, it put TNA on a map, but everybody already knows who Joe Henry is, especially watching WrestleMania. They know who Joe Henry is. So I thought it was great for him to come out, and I thought it didn't hurt either guy. I really don't think it did, because Joe Henry was in the ring at WrestleMania with Randy Orton. Even though he was in a squash match, he was still in the ring at WrestleMania with Randy Orton. That's something that's going to go on his resume for the rest of his life. And Randy Orton got his WrestleMania match, and his gear, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know this, was a throwback to his debut gear in 2002.
2002, yep.
20th WrestleMania, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one last thing I want to do, and there's a big shout out to a TNA guy that has been making these arrangements and was one of the producers on this match, Mr. Bobby Roode. Let's give him a hand, because Bobby Roode, he did a good job in getting things going. And shout out to him. And it's a shame we may never get him to wrestle again. That's another day for another time.
Shout out to Abyss too, man.
Oh yeah, because Abyss has been doing his thing as an agent.
He's the one that produced the Hell in a Cell match between Punk and McIntyre. So good on him too.
Joseph Park. Now, what's our next match?
Do you want to talk about any of the other ones?
Yeah, we got one to talk about. Intercontinental.
The Fatal Four. Yeah, the Fatal Four-Way.
Hell yeah, Fatal Four-Way. I'm gonna give that a masterpiece match. If I was Dave Metzer with you guys right now, we're gonna call that a classic match. It had everything we needed in it.
Mm-hmm.
The outcome was what some of you had predicted. I was a little thrown because I thought they were going to keep the momentum going for Penta, but it didn't hurt Penta because Penta got a title match on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they're doing things, they're having a lot of those wrestlers just integrate and move around and not make anyone look weak. It's either cheating, they're playing the heel roll up for Dom. I see the tension, and I see it in Finn Balor's eyes. Is he signing a new contract, or has he signed a new contract? That was my issue with him going into the IC. I don't know his contract status right now. And you know how they've been treating him and what is eventually going to happen to Shinsuke. I don't know if Finn's going to do that same thing.
Well, it's already been reported that Shinsuke is leaving. Shinsuke's gone. As far as Devitt, I'm going to call him Devitt because I don't like calling him Finn at this point. I hope to God that he leaves, because I love him so much. I have followed him since 2013, since the inception of the Bullet Club. And I don't see Dom being a heel for much longer. I don't. I see him turning face. And here's the reason. If you guys, which I know you guys probably didn't because it was late as shit, but that post-show press conference, the way that the crowd reacted to Dom was incredible. They were chanting his name. He was like, man, this is weird. I've never felt this before. So I I think he might be the one that's kicked out of Judgment Day.
I can see that happening.
I think Liv's going to turn her back on him, and Dom's not going to have Judgment Day anymore.
Damn. What about you, John?
I called Dom to win that match. It was exciting because, you know, throughout the year or a year and a half he's been with Judgment Day. I mean, just think about all the crowd would not ever let him talk and all that, and the response to him winning that was tremendous. I mean, do I think he's going to be the one to leave Judgment Day? No. Everything that we're seeing right now, it's all pointing to them kicking Finn out. Finn's going to probably return as the Demon King. That's what I see Finn coming back. Who he's going to feud with, I think he's probably going to feud with Dom for a little bit. But I see Finn ain't going nowhere. Finn's with that company. He's not leaving.
That's an interesting take.
Well, I'm going to just say this. With AEW sliding down and doing 3-year deals instead of 5-year, you know, WWE, that's what they're offering, 5-year contracts. That's what they want now. That's the TKO standard. I don't see Finn re-signing. He can go make money and still be prominent in AEW. His stock would even be better actually in AEW. He's one wrestler. He won't have the ricochet effect. He would actually go there and be something.
No, he wouldn't. He would be slotted in where Will Ospreay's at right now.
Wow. He would be their next heavyweight champion.
Nope. No, he would not be, because they don't know how to run a wrestling company. And that joke of an owner they have, Tony Khan, doesn't know how to deal with stars. Look what he's doing with Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay should have won the world championship, but he's hanging out with a Mark Briscoe. God bless him, but he's hanging out with a Mark Briscoe in tag matches. For what?
Right. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. We'll have to talk about that another day.
I'll leave the AEW stuff to you guys. I don't follow it much.
Yeah, we'll have to get into that heavy.
So, John Cena and Cody Rhodes.
Uh,
I didn't expect John Cena to win it tonight or that night, but I get it, I guess.
Take the floor, John.
I expected more like last year's main event. I mean, how many run-ins did we have? How many cameos did we have? We had none except for Travis fucking Scott. I was expecting more. I was expecting, Rock to be out there. But here's the thing. I don't know if you guys, they had a thing with Pat McAfee. McAfee was talking with Rock on the air, and Rock said, hey, to all the fans who didn't like the fact that I wasn't here, guess what? I don't need to be there for a storyline. I mean, the story was happening right there without him in it. He didn't need to be there. Did I think he should have been there for that storyline? Yeah, because he's part of it. But I mean, I don't know. I'm glad Cena won it. This new heel Cena is different. We've seen heel Cena one time. This is a different heel. This is a different type heel. I like it. I kind of like it.
Man, I know a lot of people are upset about Travis Scott, but Cena's whole thing is to ruin wrestling. John, like you said, you expected more. You wanted more. Well, you're not getting more, because then that's the point. You wanted more, right? But you didn't get it. So it left you kind of feeling disappointed. And that's his whole thing. He's trying to ruin wrestling. This is his thing. He's not here for us anymore. You want more? You want the final boss? Well, you don't get the final boss. You want me to defend my title every other week? You want me to be here every other week? No, fuck you. I'm only here for 25 more dates. This is the whole point that, and you are a very educated fan. I enjoy going back and forth with you. But some of these people on Twitter that are like, oh, that was terrible. This is awful. You don't get it. You don't understand what they're trying to tell you, what they're trying to do. Now, I watched the Pat McAfee thing that you were talking about. I think The Rock lied through his teeth that whole entire interview, because I don't think this was the original plan. I don't think it was. I think maybe something happened with The Rock and he wasn't able to make it. But I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. Maybe it's just the Cena kid in me, but he's the last world champion for a reason. And I am so very happy. And like you said, this is a different heel Cena, and it's fantastic. The line on Friday that he said that blew my mind was the reason he doesn't have kids is because he spent 25 years raising yours, meaning he spent 25 years raising this generation to be good people. And people that looked up to John Cena, like myself, are good people because of John Cena. And that was just a little throwaway line that not a lot of people
Explain
caught.
to Lakota.
Okay.
But
He raised Lakota.
Oh,
he
okay.
did. He did. We'll give him the credit. But it was a little throwaway line that I thought was just fantastic.
The only thing I'm confused about them giving the title to Cena is that man's got like 2 or 3 movies to film in May and June. So I mean, does that mean he's not going to be there to defend the title now for the next 2 months? I mean, after he defends it against Orton, of course. But does that mean that Orton gets the title at Backlash because they're in his hometown, or does that mean that Orton lays down for him and we don't see Cena for 2 months?
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, and Cena's going to prove that. Now, John, you remember this? Remember a young man named Paul Wright, the Giant?
Yep.
Remember he was a WCW champion, and then Hollywood Hogan came about, right? Or
Yep.
He won a belt off him. And then when Hollywood got it back, the first 4 months of the NWO, you got a truly different Hulk Hogan. And then he was relaxed. John Cena is following the archetype of Hollywood Hogan. Because you remember when we first got Hollywood Hogan, it was innovative, but it was flat. He had Scott Steiner not Scott Steiner, he had Scott Hall and Kevin Nash behind him because they were good with creative. But really think about the Hogan at the World Heavyweight Championship. He was flat. He was flat, just like John Cena is being right now, with the introduction, the way the ring announcers have to answer up to him, and there's no kayfabe to anything he's doing. He's taken wrestling and he just made it flat. He tried to make it like that old real wrestling they tried to do in in MTV back in the day. You remember real wrestling when they tried to do that crap and make wrestling not kayfabe with Teddy Hart and all them guys. Oh, he's still alive.
Oh, I love that thing he's doing with having the ref reintroduce him. I love that. I think that's great.
Right. So what I take away from this is it was a great main event for what needed to happen. Is it the worst match in WrestleMania history?
No.
Hold on.
Hell no.
I'm about to change it. As a main event, it is. As a main event, it's one of the most lackluster.
No.
It almost made me feel like I would have rather had Batista run out there and hit the Batista bomb on Cody Rhodes and him get the title that way and say, oh, it's the Ruthless Aggression Crew or something.
I got 2 WrestleMania main events that are worse than that.
Go ahead, give it to me.
Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34 and Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg at WrestleMania 33.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't a main event, though.
Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar at 34 was the main event.
No, but I'm talking about the one of Brock Lesnar and Goldberg. That wasn't a main event.
No, but it should have been because, okay, let me reverse that because the main event of that show was awful. Even Taker and Reigns. Taker didn't need to be out there. That was awful.
I could probably give you another one that's just as worse, which was Reigns and Lesnar at 31 when Seth ran in.
Whoa.
No. That was a horrible match. All it was Roman gets suplexed 37 times, and then Seth capped it off by cashing in. That's what made the match better.
That was the second best match of Brock Lesnar's career.
Yeah, right.
Any match with Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar was a good match, except that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's not do that.
Wow.
Let's move on to Monday night. Y'all guys break down Monday night because I'm going to tell you Monday night was not impressive. Take the floor, Lakota. You got Monday night.
Listen, I just want to jump in and say I appreciated the RKO. I used to dislike him. He wasn't my cup of tea, but now I'm starting to like him.
2 RKOs in a week.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that I will talk about with Raw is Cena has been left laying since before Mania every week in the same position. That has to mean something. I'm sorry, I might be too big of a conspiracy theorist, but that has to mean something.
There's a point.
he's been left laying since before Mania. Since the first time that him and Cody Rhodes got physical in Berlin, Cena has been left laying even after winning the championship.
Maybe Randy will leave him laying like that at Backlash. I doubt it, but we'll see.
But like I liked Raw a lot. I think you know, the big stuff that happened was pretty much the main event. I feel like I don't think there was too big of many surprises. Like Becky turned heel, we all saw that coming. Um, but I really enjoyed Raw just because of the simple fact of what happened in that main event. Like I think a lot of people are like overlooking this. This is not just like a oh my god, guys, we're getting an evolution, but it's not gonna be evolution. It's the revolution of professional wrestling with Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and I'm gonna throw out that other guy, Paul Heyman's in there, but I don't know if you guys know this. Like you guys were talking JR in the group chat on Friday. We're like, oh, Nathan Frazier next. Nathan Frazier is a Seth Rollins guy. So I don't know, man. I could see him joining them. I could see Ethan Page. Ethan Page is my number one pick right now.
Okay, I can see that because of the talent and stuff.
Yeah, the history with him and The Rock.
Yeah,
so
that'd be dangerous. A new alliance. Good a new alliance.
Yeah. But that was the biggest takeaway for me for Raw was they made Braun Breaker. He was already a main eventer, but they solidified it, at this episode of Raw, and can't wait to see where it goes next.
What about you, John? Nothing.
Even with the return of Rusev, like I told you before the cast started, I mean, shoot,
we already knew that was going to happen.
But I'm saying, I mean, had him return. Where do they have him return at?
The tag match with the New Day and Alpha Academy.
So stupid. They could have. If they're gonna bring him back, don't bring him back and bury him like they did the first time. I think he was title worthy when he was there. Before. Mm-hmm. Don't bring him back and ruin it now.
Okay.
Bring him back during a tag match. Come on, man.
And he destroyed everybody. So that like kind of just.
Yeah, to me that kind of solidified it as he's a monster.
Yeah, my thing about Rusev is when Rusev gets into the world title matches and gets up there in the upper card, back then he wasn't in the best shape. Now he's in killer shape and
that boy's ripped.
He looks the part, and hopefully he grows his hair back out because he looks crazy without the hair. Ever when he was in AEW, I just couldn't watch him because I'm like, bro, you're not Rusev.
He looks like he was Bulgarian Mr. Potato Head, but that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah. Other than that, the ending to Raw was the only decent part to it. It wasn't really nothing spectacular.
Our poor boy Pat McAfee got attacked.
Let's talk about that. Oh my gosh. This was brilliant. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it gave McAfee a reason to be at the draft and kind of because he needed that time off. I mean, there was no show, but of course, they keep putting him in storylines because Pat loves wrestling. Like you just called him a sports guy. He's not just a sports guy. He's one of us, damn it. He is one of us, damn it. He loves professional wrestling. And the fact that Michael Cole is finally getting his damn flowers as I'm not going to call him the greatest commentator of all time because JR is still with us. But when JR passes on, that honor will go to Michael Cole because I'm tired of Pete. Yeah, don't look at me like that. No, don't look at me.
Tony Schiavone's good too.
Poor Tony Schiavone, man. He tried. You need to go back to WWE, Tony. You'd probably be better off there. Because you ain't got to deal with all those kids doing crazy stuff, and then you about to have a heart attack behind the desk. But I thought this was brilliant. I thought it gave Gunther something to do after losing the world title. I think because they're going to be on Monday Night Raw, Pat and Cole. If you guys haven't known that Adam Pearce has suspended Gunther indefinitely. Suspended him indefinitely.
That means he's going to show up on the show and attack him, and that's what I'm waiting for. If he shows up on Pat's show and attacks him, that's gonna get me hyped.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they're gonna do.
Stuff over.
Because if you remember what they did with the Adam Cole and Pat McAfee match, he was on his show at first, and he was like, "You know what? Fuck you, Pat," because he kept calling him short and stupid. like just throwing little jabs at him. I'm waiting on Gunther to show up, kick in the door to Pat McAfee studio, and beat the ever loving shit out of him.
Oh yeah, one other thing that was important in women's wrestling, you had a bunch of NXT ladies come up and try to do some damage that wasn't very effective, but they did make a roundabout storyline that could go around the world title when Raw with Io Sky, Julia,
Roxanne.
yeah, Roxanne Perez, and with keeping Rhea in that. They've got a good mix right there. I don't mind seeing them all do a 6-way match, 5-way match, whatever they want to do. Call them up and make it worthwhile. But if you're going to use Julia, use her to her full extent. Let her do the match with EO and let the other ones, follow suit. It can be a one-off thing with them too, but make that the next pay-per-view.
Do her like you did Asuka in the beginning, but don't fuck it up this time.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Hey, I tell you though, for real, eventually we're gonna see daggone Julia and Rhea. That's gonna be a banger, bro.
Oh man, that's gonna cook.
And then a big shout out for Stephanie coming up from NXT real quick to make some noise on that one. But overall, Raw did some things here and there. But man, let's talk about the real one, SmackDown.
I will get to the main event last, but I'm just gonna say this: that was probably one of the greatest tag team matches I've ever seen.
Okay.
Oh, that ladder match was great, dude.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. I was scared for Tommaso Ciampa, and he's one of my guys. Like he's part of my top 100 wrestlers. For Tommaso Ciampa to take that blow or spot, hell no.
I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna blow JR's mind. That was better than the Hardys and Christian and the Dudleys. It's gonna blow your mind and it's gonna disappoint you, but it was.
You
see why you're sitting there thinking of it? Because it's true.
I can't say. I cannot agree. I cannot agree. No way.
Edge had that spear down pack. Edge had that spear down pack back in the day.
That was one of the greatest spots in WrestleMania history and professional wrestling history. But overall, the better match was on Friday. I thought that it showed that the Profits I thought it elevated that tag division crazy because that should have been on the Mania card. That shouldn't have been relegated to the Mania, to SmackDown after Mania. That should have been on the Mania card. It could have took the place of Cargill and Naomi, for example, because that blew my mind.
And I like this generation of tag teams. Shout out, everybody knows Motor City Machine Guns. I'm glad that they're getting their just due to wrestle now. The great thing, we got 2 indie tag teams that are in here with a WWE built tag team.
Yeah. So Motor City Machine Guns are the second greatest tag team of all time.
We'll have to we'll have to do a greatest tag team show one day.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I will say this. Great match there. The other thing that I was really excited about, I'm sorry I'm cutting and go dipping and diving. Our US title. Like it needed to come off Chelsea Green behind this one thing. For some reason, and I know this may sound crazy to y'all, they're gonna release Chelsea Green soon.
Whoa.
I'm gonna tell you why. Hold on, let me give you this. Even though Chelsea Green is everywhere, she was like the statesman, she was like the president of WWE. She does all this press stuff, and she don't even get a match on WrestleMania.
Wow, that's crazy.
They're going to release her because of Matt Cardona and his action.
No, I don't see that happening. Sorry, I see Matt coming back.
Zack Ryder is not coming back.
Matt is coming back. I went to Zack Ryder's funeral, man. He's dead. I don't know who you're talking about. But I see him coming back eventually, and you're saying he's not coming back? We all said the same thing about CM Punk. We all said the same thing after 5 years of us begging and pleading. We were like, it's not going to happen. And then it happened. Never say never in professional wrestling. I didn't used to say that until Punk showed up at Survivor Series. But never say never. I think Chelsea Green's going to go for a world title push. Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that. I think she's fantastic. I think she's great. And I think the company sees value in her. And I think that's the reason they put the title on her as the first ever women's United States champion to begin with, because they see value in her and they see how good she actually is.
What do you think, John? What do you think?
I don't think Chelsea's going anywhere. Do I think Matt Cardona comes back? Honestly, I was expecting him to return on Monday night. I was. But I think I kind of think the way you thought when we were talking a little bit ago. I think they only gave it to Zelina to bring Alistair back. Do I think she's gonna hold it a long time? Zelina, no, ain't gonna happen.
Because the thing about Selena, y'all may be in agreement or not. When I go back down to NXT and I look at any wrestler down there that could wrestle for that title right now, there's at least 7 girls on the NXT roster that have a better moveset and actually wrestle. Selena doesn't have any character or any type of development
That's not her fault though.
that makes me want to spend money with her or makes me want to even play with her on the video game. Like if she's on my video game, I'm making my creative player or woman fight before her. I'm not even using her in my main storylines.
Wow. That's not on her though, man. She is so good. So good.
Unless
She-
she's gotten a lot better. I never really cared for her.
Damn.
I mean, I didn't like the way she wrestled. I mean, she looked sloppy to me. I didn't pay
It's like
attention to
lazy,
this
isn't it?
match, but yeah, I never did care for her.
I think she's fantastic.
I think she's better than Tiffany Stratton. If you go look at Tiffany Stratton's look. Go back and look at Tiffany's match from last night. Oh man, she botched so much last night.
My dude. Oh no. Listen, the reason that Tiffany botched is, bro, she's on her first WrestleMania in front of 60,000 people. She was shitting bricks in the ring with Charlotte Flair. She's a gymnast, not a professional wrestler like she is now, but she didn't grow up loving this. So she's blessed to be in the position she
out
is.
of the kitchen.
But wow,
Did you say that about the men or one of the men earlier? If you can't handle it, don't be there.
that's
Yeet.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
man.
crazy.
Whoa. No. We're not gonna do this to Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany Stratton was under a lot of stress. She had to get a tooth replaced. I need to get some teeth replaced or get mine put in soon.
I mean, that doesn't mean she sits there and falls asleep during her shift. Just because you get your tooth replaced.
All right.
That's a little bit of an inside joke right there. You can fill these two in later.
I will. All right. So, anyways, here's the thing. With
you get in.
all right, so that was funny. I'm just gonna leave it at this. Putting the U.S. title on her made sense because it's gonna make room for where she's a paper champion and transition champion. It makes room for someone else to hold the title until Chelsea Green can get whatever this whole Matt Cardona issue, which you guys will hear about on the internet later. If you dial my 1-900 number, you'll know the rest of what's really going on with Zack Ryder and his wife. But anyway, the thing here is this. Chelsea Green has an entourage. She is the one wrestler no one knows. And then she has Piper. What's the name of the girl that's with her now? Because she was part of a tag team.
Alba Fire.
And
they released her partner, right?
Mhm.
Aladon, yeah.
Yeah, that was stupid. But weren't they like the first tag team champions or something? Or not the first, but like weren't they NXT champions or something?
Well,
Yeah.
they were WWE. They were tag champs before that. Right before they released Ala.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so that made no sense. Like they gave her too much. She had too much going on there, and they weren't giving her TV time. Even though, like I said, I'll look at the behind the scenes stuff, like the press releases, all the crap that she goes to for WWE.
Yeah.
She personified what a Canadian. Well, she's not. Is she Canadian? Isn't she Canadian?
Yeah,
She's
Chelsea
Canadian.
Green. Chelsea Green's Canadian.
Yeah, she justifies what a Canadian U.S. champion should be. But her wrestling, they're not letting her wrestle like she used to wrestle in TNA and Lucha Underground and all that stuff. Because I want to see her in Penta wrestle again.
She's fantastic, man.
Yeah. But I want to see that. But the whole thing is they're not letting her wrestle so her ability.
Mm-mm.
And let's be honest, we can take that little title, because it is a little title right now, and move it around some wrestlers that we're not going to get too much shine. and let's have fun with it. Let's make 4-way matches. Let's do those multiple wrestler matches. Let's make a feud that makes sense for the title. Because that's the problem with that and the IC belt. The IC belt has a meaning now because we know Becky Lynch is going to be the next champion. Like, I don't even have to write that, and she might get the title at the next pay-per-view. That's one thing I will predict. She will get the title at the next pay-per-view because she's going to her Hulk Hogan clause and get it signed, and she'll feud with that girl for y'all keep saying she's not Hulk Hogan, and she is. And then let's go into this amazing thing. The Miz, he comes out there. I wish The Miz would just become a writer.
Yes.
He could write most of the promos for the guys that don't know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Teach them the right camera angle, how to look at the camera, hold the mic, be intense, and do what you're supposed to do in pro wrestling. There's a guy that comes out there, a guy that I want to call the pandemic wrestler. Aleister Black was a pandemic wrestler. He did what he had to, and he arranged what I call a transitional card for wrestling, meaning he could always be in the low card or the mid card. He can be a tag team partner in the upper card or in the main event. He can feud with the champion, but he can't be the champion. You know, he can't be a heavyweight champion just yet. A little bit more just do before we get there. Microphone skills got to get better. We can't have another Triple H guy that has to have Paul Heyman attached to him. There are not enough credible managers in WWE, because we used to have managers back in the day that would help and really work out their wrestlers. If we had credible
Bobby Heenan,
right? Bobby Heenan, all these guys, and some women out there. Sherry Martel, God rest her soul. We don't have managers anymore. Heck, LA Knight was they were trying to make him a manager. Look at his.
Oh, good God.
And look at his tag team now. They're doing the gimmick in AEW. That's one. Man, we're gonna have to do an AEW episode because I got some parodies on some stuff. But anyway, so we had managers. There'd be some different things going on there. So Aleister Black, I was what made me happy about his return is he did exactly what he needed to do. He returned. He has a feud now with an established star. Let it go on for a pay-per-view or not, and then we can go from there. So what do y'all guys think about? Tell me about y'all SmackDown feel and interaction.
Well, I'm an Aleister Black guy. So, like, I've been following him since he was Tommy End.
Damn.
So, for me, that was another, like, oh my gosh moment for me. Because we all knew it was coming. Like, you know, it wasn't like, oh my God, he's back. And we didn't know. We knew for months. But it was just the fact that, number one, they gave him his original theme, his original entrance, his original everything. And he did exactly what you said. He did exactly what he needed to do at the right time. And it was perfect because now he's got something to do other than just be, you know, show up like Rusev, and now we don't know where that's going to go. He's got something to do. He's got his return match next Friday against The Miz. You know, so he's got something to do, and I thought it was really, really good and really, really interesting to have him come back there. I thought he might have came out during that U.S. title #1 contender match, but that was just me.
Okay. What do you think, John? What was your Friday night experience like?
well, Friday night was better than Raw. I really enjoyed the tag team tables, ladders, and chairs match. Do I think it was the best one of all time? No way.
Wow.
Hardy's, Dudley's, and Christian and Edge. I mean, come on, they invented that match. And then you had the one where they had Joey Mercury when he about lost his eyeball. That match was better than. I mean, it was a great match. Hey, Coda, not knocking you, but it was a great match. It really was.
And y'all, like, here's my problem with the ladder match with Edge and Christian and Hardy. It was fantastic. I've watched it several times. It's actually one of the matches that got my fiance into wrestling. So I have that to thank it for. But in terms of overall wrestling, I just thought that is a match now that happened on Friday that I will show my kids. And that's like I'm gonna look at my son and be like, this is what tag team wrestling is. That to me is what you have to have for a tag match. Now, granted, I will show him the Hardys and Edge and Christian, but I'll show him that one first because I thought it was brilliant. I thought it elevated everybody in the match, and I thought it breathed new life into tag team wrestling that WWE desperately needed.
Oh yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, just go through the lineup of what tag teams you have: Motor City Machine Guns,
The Profits.
DIY, and Profits. That's the only tag teams. I mean, you could eliminate one set of tag team belts out of that whole WWE and run with one because you just don't have enough. And another one, Pretty Deadly. Pretty Deadly's awesome.
Pretty Deadly is fantastic, and
Yeah,
the
so
fact they're not being used properly is a travesty.
But I mean, on Raw, you don't have any tag teams. You really don't. New Day, I don't even count them anymore. And then
You have like
what do
three. You have the New Day. You have the War Raiders. Alpha Academy.
That's it.
Oh yeah, Alpha Academy. Yeah, you got the Creed brothers.
American
The
made,
Creed brothers.
Yeah,
but good God, they should have won the tag titles a long time ago.
and the
That's
thing about
just-
the Creed brothers, they're probably the most solid tag team. But
Yes.
yeah, I will say this: as a televised match on SmackDown, it was probably one of the better tag team matches I've seen in the history of SmackDown. I'll give it that accolade. I can give it that. It was probably one of the better matches on there because it almost made me feel like Rhino should have came out there and gored somebody through the stage.
Nice.
Yeah, so I like that. I like the spots that were in the match because it was intense. I'm
That
worried.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, I'm
dude.
worried about D'Angelo though, like or Dawkins, whatever the hell his name is.
Docs.
I'm worried about him because man, I watched him wrestle, and he was the only wrestler that was out of place in that match. What that match really did to me when I was watching it, it made me see that Montez Ford is going to be our next mid-card champion sometime.
Montez Ford is the next generation's Rock.
Not going to say that. Not going to go that far.
I will 100% say that.
But when he turns his partner into Marty Jannetty, I will be happy for that day. But right now, they work good, they flow good, and none of all of those guys in there were polished. That was one thing that I appreciated on the last 3 nights of wrestling. That tag team match was probably the most polished match from everything that came on this week. So I will say this: after WrestleMania, it's been the best match thus far in the whole WrestleMania week and the week following.
Yeah,
I'll give it to that. Other than that, Nia Jax, the women's wrestling, I'm not going to talk about because the women's wrestling is complete. Whoever's writing that and taking care of that, they're taking care of the women's wrestling. Only thing that we need to do is we need our mid card straightened out, and we need to have a bona fide low card where we get more comedy like R-Truth and John Cena moments. We need that kind of stuff, or with Jimmy Uso and stuff like that. One thing that we don't need is meaningless matches that don't give us a story at the end. That was my only takeaway from Raw and SmackDown that messed me up. But overall, I think that we'll get to a good point. By the time we have a big thing going for Backlash, we'll definitely have to do a preview of that if y'all want to. Then eventually, you guys are going to have to form a podcast. You two in particular with Kevin on there sometime, but you two have the chops for it. I want y'all to think about it. We'll talk behind the scenes later. Because I got to catch up with you, John, when I make my way back up north. And you're already almost ready, Lakota. You already got your gear. We just got to get you a piece real quick, and we all know it's just a microphone. Once you get a mic, you'll be good to go. And that's with me and Stacy right now, isn't it? The microphone. I brought the Yeti with me to give John. Yeah, I did bring it anyway. But anyway, guys. So here's a recap. I want to do this real quick. Since WrestleMania, when it ends, it starts our new season of wrestling. Are you guys really inspired for wrestling for at least the next 6 months?
Yeah. Especially with the whole Cena storyline now, and you got the whole new Heyman situation. Those are the two things I'm excited about.
Man, I will say this: my passion for wrestling, no matter what time of year it is, will never go away.
Okay.
Same.
Wrestling means the world to me. I don't think a lot of people realize how much wrestling does mean to me, because growing up with a disability like cerebral palsy, I'm gonna get deep for a second, JR. So you might
Okay,
want to
go
get
ahead.
your tissues. It gave me something to believe in myself, because growing up, you can't play football, you can't play basketball, but wrestling, I'm good at talking shit. I'm a good talker. And so when somebody would call you Forrest Gump or bow-legged or whatever the fuck they might come up with that day, and you would turn around and cut a promo on them, and they would just be sitting there like, what the fuck? Like, where did that come from? Wrestling will always be a part of me because wrestling gave me who I am today. So it doesn't matter what time of year it is. It doesn't matter. Bro, I was around in 2016 when Roman Reigns was getting dog food dumped on his fucking ass. So that passion that I have deep down inside of me will never go, regardless of what time of year it is. But this time in particular is one time that I will look back on fondly, because my childhood hero is the last real champion, and he is doing fantastic heel stuff. Because it's not like a typical heel, a typical heel is like, oh, I'm a bad guy and I'm gonna hit you in the nuts. John Cena's playing like a 30s carny heel from like the circus kind of thing, where he's like, you guys are all horrible people, and he's talking stupid. He says stupid stuff if you guys pay attention. Like the way he talks, the tone in his voice is different, and I love it. And I'm really looking forward to what the future holds for Cena and the world title picture in general.
You, John?
Oh yeah, the same. Like I said, this whole next 6 months is going to be a roller coaster. I mean, because you're, like I said earlier, you're seeing a different type of heel from Cena. Yes, he played the heel back in what, 03, where he was rapping against everybody. It's different now. The game is not the same. It's not the same heel. It's going to be very enjoyable.
Okay. And I'll say this, just to end this thing. I think it's going to be very interesting. I think that we're going to have some shuffles in the mid card. I do want to give a big shout out to CM Punk for taking extra bumps he normally doesn't take. CM Punk took a lot of bumps on Monday night, and I was like, "Uh-oh, did he get injured?" Because he's frail. I love him to death.
Come on, leave my boy alone. Come on
He
now.
is frail. So shout out to CM Punk, to all these guys out here, and the next development with NXT. They're doing a good thing down there. Sorry we didn't get to discuss you guys as much as we probably could, but we'll just let y'all guys develop and we'll keep watching. So on that note, anything y'all guys want to tell the audience or anything, let them know about you guys, your Instagram handles, your Facebook handles, or don't do your Facebook because somebody's wife might get mad.
TikTok is Lakota Carter 62, Instagram is Carter Bunch 62, YouTube channel is Brotherhood Entertainment, Twitch is Brotherhood Entertainment 2. We stream over there about every weekend when we can. We predominantly play Fortnite. And I'm just really excited. I'm really grateful that I have built these friendships that I have now had because of this show and then social media, and really grateful for JR, everything he has taught me, and really grateful for his friendship, really grateful for John's friendship, really grateful to be here. And I love each and every single one of you. So thank you guys for having me once again. And thank you to the audience who listens to me ramble on for 20 minutes.
And you, John?
Yeah, I don't do much social media. I've got Facebook. We usually don't, we're not going to go out there. I've got Instagram. I'll get you my handle the next time I'm on. But yeah, I'm grateful for, getting to hang with you guys on here. Cody, you're a cool ass dude. Of course, JR, we've been tight since day one ish.
Yeah.
Yeet.
And now one thing I do gotta say, what about your brother Chris? Now the story on Chris, me and Chris have always been cool. He was 2 grades above me. Does he have any interest in wrestling?
He did when we were younger. We don't really talk like we'll see each other at family events, but other than that, we don't see each other much.
Oh dang! I was just asking because I was like, we're always looking if either one of y'all want to bring somebody else into the fold. Shout out to Andrew, even though he couldn't be here. He has been a delight in our group chats.
Oh, I love Andrew. Andrew's my new best friend.
And then one thing that we'll have to go on at some point after I talk to these guys' audience is this: when they decide to start their wrestling podcast, I mean, I'll still be a part of it here and there. Y'all know I travel too much, but here's the thing: these guys have a Discord. Actually, Lakota has a Discord, and you all should get involved with his Discord when he's ready to allow the public in there, because that thing is wild. So, on that note, I'm JR. He's John. He's Lakota. And we're out of here.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at oncommonplace.square.site. Join the...
Oh, and one thing I forgot. Thank you to the amazing co-host Stacy for being a moderator and putting in ad libs and saying funny shit about me that I can't comment back on because I don't want to get beat.
How you gonna forget about the tribal chief?
Right.
Yeah, you better acknowledge her, bro.
Yeah, we acknowledge you, Tribal Chief. And on a brighter note, I will say this: I will be on location in Virginia soon, so we'll have a little something going with John. And when I make my way down to the southern part of West Virginia, we'll have something going on with Lakota, and that will involve a wrestling game. So I won't say any more about that, and I'll get into that later. So, audience, you all have a good day, night, afternoon, or however you consume this. We appreciate it. I am the host of West Virginia Commonplace on Thursdays, and on Tuesdays, I'm the co-host with Stacy on Sparrows Under Review, and we are out of here.